Welcome to another top 5 of the years. We're doing these for all the decade years in preparation for our decade in review tourney that we're going to do at the start of 2020. Today, I'm joined with Jude.
Hello, how are we doing?
And he's going to be delving into his top 5 for this illustrious year. No spoilers, but let's just say a certain red mask super villain is going to be walking his way to number 1.
We're not mentioning him. Let's not be named.
But Jude, if you want to get started with number 5 or honorable mentions, let's get this underway.
Well, yeah, let's do honorable mentions. I mean, like you said, 2016 was such a good year, and like picking 5 is kind of cruel. So let's run through some honorable mentions very quickly. Hypernormalization, Adam Curtis documentary I really enjoyed. 10 Cloverfield Lane, I really want to get in there. The Constitution, really great creation film I liked. Popstar, Never Stopping, Andy Samberg. Yes. Oh my God, I would die for him. Arrival, Train to Busan, Personal Shopper, Moonlight, of course, I couldn't quite fit in. And I'm going to cover some bases as well, because dates are weird when it comes to film releases. And these films are 2016 on Letterboxd, but I don't have counted in 2017. But Raw, I would have top of my list if I had it to 2016. Anti-Porno, Science Sono film I really loved, and The Red Turtle as well.
I forgot The Red Turtle's 2017, but listed as...
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, this I know this isn't part of the top 5, but we did the repicking of Oscars for this year, and it was excruciating because there were so many that we were leaving off, and like even for the best picture, I was like, "But guys, there's 50 films," and there's like, "Oh, well, there's only 10 slots."
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's a really, really fun year. But Jude, get us underway with your number 5.
Number 5, I've gone for Certain Women, which is a very strange film in that really it's kind of very, very dull and boring. And I know you don't like this film very much. But I just think it captures the loneliness and the monotony of living in such a real way, and the hardship of living. It just does it in such a poignant way that really moved me. And it's kind of hard to describe the feeling it gives you, but it's just sort of like a nice blanket that's not too warm and not too cold. It's just right, and I could watch it 3 times over basically. It's got stars like Laura Dern in it, it's got Kristen Stewart in it and Michelle Williams, but Lily Gladstone, and who was a relative newcomer I think at the time, it just runs away with it. The third section of the film is just by far my favorite. It's really moving. I don't know, I just think it's so good, and it's so unique in its delivery as well. So yeah, Certain Women, that's my number 5 pick. I really, really love Certain Women.
Definitely respect the pick. The only thing is, for me, Reinhardt's directing isn't like sensibilities that like I mesh well with for whatever reason.
Right.
I remember it, and part of this may be because I was given it as homework in quotes. But my film professor, like, I just think if I was a film professor, you could nominate, or you could expose everybody to anything. And she was like, "You're going to watch Meek's Cutoff." And I was like, "Wait, what?"
I haven't seen that one yet, but I know what you mean because I saw Night Moves, and that was my first Kelly Reichardt film, and I found Night Moves really boring. Well, I like bits of Night Moves, but yeah.
Again, I need to finish Certain Women for sure to give it another fair shake. I just wasn't in the mood for that at the moment, and I was like, this is exhausting. But in a way that other people could definitely love. And of course, all that film is still pumped for First Cow.
Of course, yeah. March 2020, buckle up.
All right, Jude, what is your number 4?
Number 4, I have gone for Green Room, Jeremy Saulnier film, which there's no better example of a thriller for me. It's just so genuinely stressful. It grabs you by the throat and doesn't let go. I just think everything about it is so well put together. It thrills and it horrifies, and it's just so oppressive. There are really great performances in there as well. You know, Anton Yelkin, Imogen Poots, Alia Shawkat, Patrick Stewart, of course. And as like dark and horrible as this film is, you can sort of tell they're having a really, really good time with it as well. It's kind of a really fun, dark film, if that makes sense. And I think as far as gruesome, grungy thrillers, there's just no beating it, especially in its like depictions of violence. It's really cringeworthy and brilliant, and I love everything about it. So yeah, Green Room, that's my number 4 pick.
Yeah, I still need to go back to this one because I think my difficulty in watching Green Room was that the group of people I was surrounded with at the time was telling me, "Oh, Green Room's like the best movie ever. Green Room's the best movie ever." And I think it's a phenomenal B movie, if that makes sense.
Right, yeah.
Because it's fun, there's thrills, and I love that about it. But I was going into it thinking like, I don't know. The people were giving it the same hype that like Parasite's getting, people that were around me. So like I went into it and I was like, wait, this wasn't the greatest thing ever.
I mean, I love a B movie. I think it does have some art house sensibilities, though, especially in the atmosphere it creates.
Definitely.
But yeah, I do just love a good schlocky B movie, and Green Room definitely scratches that itch as well.
And you're a big fan of the Jeremy Solinger?
Yes, I
Blue
am.
Ruin. And have you seen Hold the Dark yet?
I have not. No, mainly because it's quite long, and I've heard not so great things about it.
Yeah.
But is it not good? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I haven't either.
Oh, you haven't? Oh gosh. Okay, join the club.
Yeah.
I love his other films though. Man, Murder Party. That's a really fun film as well.
Yeah, I saw that poster. But
yeah.
Jude, what is your number 3?
I have gone for The Witch, which is a film that I can only describe as vibing so hard. Like everything about this film, everything about the craft just comes together to make this just amazing atmosphere. The sound design and the score, for one thing, is so good and unique. The language and the dialect in the film I really, really love. Like I could listen to the characters talking in that film for months. I just love it so much. The period and the setting comes into that as well. I really, really like. I don't know, just everything about it. It's just a dream of a film for me. And it's so oppressive, and the horror in it I really, really loved. It's eerie, it's difficult. And yeah, it's like Green Room. It's really, really oppressive. And Witch. I love The Witch. Ending as well. Oh my God. Iconic, delicious. God tier. I love everything about The Witch. I can't really just put it in words why I like The Witch. As you can probably tell. But, oh my God.
Like, I don't know. It's the atmosphere like it can provide,
yes.
like you were saying. Like it just brings you into the 1630s in
exactly
a really interesting way.
It's just like a big chocolate cake of a film that I just like love recording in. I just, yeah.
You heard it here first.
That's the only way I can say it.
The Witch's chocolate cake for Jude.
Yeah.
Yummy, yummy. But yeah, no, I think Anya Taylor-Joy is pretty great in that film, and I'm looking forward to what Eggers does in the future. I know I wasn't too high on The Lighthouse, and eventually you'll see it, Jude.
I will, in like
maybe
a million years when it comes out.
If the UK ever gets it.
Yeah.
But moving on, what is your number 2?
The Handmaiden, which we have talked about before on the Thrillers podcast. We have, yeah. And well, you hadn't watched it for the podcast, so this is a good opportunity.
And I watched it for the podcast. Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I've talked about it before. But just the craft of this film, I really love the grand environments, the costumes, and most importantly, the script as well. It's just such a well-written film, and how it pushes new dimensions on the characters, the games of sort of deceit and seduction, and the main players are just such compelling viewing. I don't know, it's just a really luxurious film with a really, big sense of grandeur. And, I don't know, it's larger than life, and it almost, we're talking about how Green Room is sort of B movie. I wouldn't describe The Handmaiden as a B movie, but it is sort of weird and wacky and schlocky in a way, whilst also sort of pushing itself higher than that. It finds that
definitely
being
it
high
definitely
art
has parts that are crazy.
Exactly, yeah. Oh, man, it's always threatening you with something you won't know how to process and won't be expecting, and that's what I really love about The Handmaiden.
Just curious, out of Park Chan-wook's films, is this your favorite? I can't remember from our previous conversation.
Yeah, totally my favorite. Absolutely. I think Joint Security Area is another good example of what he does well. It's sort of similar to The Handmaiden in a way, but yeah, The Handmaiden is the best for me. Actually, think about it, Stoker isn't too far behind. But
oh, really?
Yeah. I love Stoker. But
yeah, I think this for me, I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just because I had to watch it under the context of, hey, this is going to be the best thriller of the decade.
Right. Yeah.
I think that was part of it. I thought it was a really well-made film, really well-costumed film. I think I need to watch it again because I can't remember how far I got into it. But I watched about like 30 minutes in, and then I just found my place and went back into it. And I slept because there was rain at some point, and rain puts me to sleep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And yeah, no, it's a really great film. Definitely has a lot of really impactful visionary style behind it. That again, with the costumes, like the way everything looks, it's incredible.
Yeah, 100% agreed.
But Jude, all the films of 2016 stood before you, and you decided you were a sucker for pain, and you picked Suicide Squad.
Yes, let's go, Jared Leto. I mean, we've talked about that. If you want to hear us talk about Suicide Squad, the DC episode, we talk about it in length.
Of course, yeah. Go back to episode 3.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
The film that almost sent Jude to jail.
Oh man. Right, okay. Am I repeating my number 1 then? Are we going?
Yes, Jude, what is your number?
I've gone full basic cinephile, and it's La La Land. I love the socks off La La Land. I think, like a lot of people sort of that I follow on Letterboxd, this film sort of came about at a time when I was just getting into film. And I think it just really showed me the potential of what a film can do, how magic a film can be. Everything, like how it has choreographed, how it's painted, the performances, it's just all dazzling to me. It's stuffed with personality, which, you know, Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone help sustain so well throughout the film. It's got humor and wit, and it's got a lot of heart as well. You know, you can clearly tell this is Damien Chazelle's passion project. But, you know, it's not sickly sweet either. I don't think it's overly sentimental. You know, it has conflicts, and it balances that idea between dreams being realized and dreams being lost. And, you know, all of that culminates in a finale that, oh man, it's just one of my favorite of all time. It's at once sobering and euphoric, and oh man, I just love everything about La La Land. In a way, it's similar to The Witch in that I struggle to find the words to describe why I like this film so much. I just put it on, and I'm just sort of overwhelmed with happiness and everything. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, no, I recently rewatched this one, and I think there's an interesting discussion behind La La Land, because I think this was the first year that, because you mentioned young, like, cinephile people that want to get into movies, but more importantly, I think this was the growing birth of, like, film Twitter culture.
Right.
Because I think this was the first time I ever remember, like, people being like, oh, this movie's great, and then a small amount of people being like, no, it's overrated, which we've been plagued with ever since. But, you know,
right.
Which is fine. Like, I understand that's the process. That it just felt like La La Land was that first, oh man, like, people aren't happy that people like this movie. And which sort of made me, like, not enjoy it as much on the second watch, because I was looking into it being like, okay, well, maybe people are right in certain aspects and yada yada, all this stuff. But then I rewatched it again, like, this year, and I was like, no, this movie slaps, like, so hard. The soundtrack is amazing. Visually, it looks stunning. Damien Chazelle just put so much time into everything, every part that goes into this film. And I love seeing just all the background of how he got things shot. I mean, just that scene in the diner. Have you seen that shot that they do?
Oh, I don't think I have, no.
Okay, so it's basically the one that it switches back from Ryan Gosling playing piano and Emma Stone.
No, I have seen that.
Yeah. And it's Damien Chazelle just poking the DOP's shoulder and, like, him switching back. It's movie magic. I'm a big fan. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
But La La Land is the pick. So unfortunately, Deadpool and Suicide Squad, you are still left trying to make it into the Tourney. Jude has not been gracing you, not this year. But if you guys want to check out the other picks of the decade, you can do so at allthatfilmpodcast.wordpress.com. I think we're up to 24, and we'll be doing a 2017 Oscar repicking, so that will also decide one. So make sure to be on the lookout for the fan vote for that. But thank you, Jude.
Thank you, and see you next time.
Ooh, at the movies. Just kidding.